Page 100. I don't understand. If you're willing volunteers, why am I here? Because I want you to do this with you very much. Oh, I gasp. Why? I wander to the far corner of the room and pat the waist-high padded bench and run my fingers over the lever. He likes to hurt women. The thought depresses me. You're a sadist. I'm a dominant. His eyes are a scorching grey, intense. What does that mean? I whisper. It means I want you to willingly surrender yourself to me in all things. I frown at him as I try to assimilate this idea. Why would I do that? To please me. He whispers as he cocks his head to one side, and I see a ghost of a smile. Please him? He wants me to please him. I think my mouth drops open. Please, Christian Grey. And I realise in the moment that, yes, that's exactly what I want to do. I want him to be damn delighted with me. It's a revelation. In very simple terms, I want you to please me, he says, softly. His voice is hypnotic. How do I do that? My mouth is dry, and I wish I had more wine. Okay, I understand the pleasing bit, but I am puzzled by the sounder bonjour Elizabethan torture setup. Do I want to know the answer? I have rules, and I want you to comply with them. They are for your benefit and for my pleasure. If you follow these rules to my satisfaction, I shall reward you. If you don't, I shall punish you, and you will learn, he whispers. I glance at the rack of canes as he says this. And where does all this fit in? I wave my hand in the general direction of the room. It's all part of the incentive package, both reward and punishment. So you'll get your kicks by exerting your will over me. It's about gaining your trust and your respect. So you'll let me exert my will over you. I will gain a great deal of pleasure, joy, even your submission. The more you submit, the greater my joy. It's a very simple equation. Okay, and what do I get out of this? He shrugs and looks almost apologetic. Me, he says simply. Oh my, Christian rakes his hand through his hair as he gazes at me. You're not giving anything away, Anastasia, he murmurs, exasperated. Let's go back downstairs where I can concentrate better. It's very distracting having you in here. He holds his hand out to me, and I'm now hesitant to take it. Kate had said he was dangerous. She was so right. How did she know? He's dangerous to my health because I know I'm going to say yes. And part of me doesn't want to. Part of me wants to run screaming from this room and all it represents. I am so out of my depth here. I'm not going to hurt you, Anastasia. I know he speaks the truth. I take his hand and he leads me out of the door. If you do this, let me show you. Rather than going back downstairs, he turns right out to the playroom, as he calls it, and down a corridor. We pass several doors until we reach the one at the end. Beyond it is a bedroom with a large double bed, all in white. Everything, furniture, walls, bedding, it's sterile and cold, but with the most glorious view of Seattle through the glass wall. This will be your room. You can decorate it how you like and have whatever you like in here. My room? You expect me to move in? I can't hide the horror in my voice. Not full time, just say Friday evening through Sunday. We'll have to talk about that. Negotiate if you want to do this, he adds, his voice quiet and hesitant. I'll sleep here? Yes. Not with you. No. I told you I don't sleep with anyone except you when you are stupefied with drink. His voice is reprimanding. My mouth presses in a hard line. This is what I can't recall. Kind, caring Christian who rescues me from the imbibration and holds me gently while I'm thrown up in Elzeals, and the monster processes whips and chains in a special room. Where do you sleep? My room is downstairs. Come, you must be hungry. Weirdly, I seem to have lost my appetite, I murmur perturbedly. You must eat, Anastasia. He scolds, and taking my hand, leads me back downstairs. Back in the impossible big room. I am filled with deep trepidation. I'm on the edge of the precipice, and I have decided whether or not to jump. I'm fully aware that this is all a dark path I'm leading you down, Anastasia, which is why I really want you to think about this. You must have some questions, he says as he wanders into the kitchen area, releasing my hand. I do, but where to start? You've signed your NDA. You can ask me anything you want, and I'll answer it. I stand at the breakfast bar, watching him as he opens the refrigerator and pulls out a plate of different cheeses with 2 large bunches of green and red grapes. He sets the plate down on the worktop and proceeds to cut up the French baguette. Sit. He points to one of the stools at the breakfast bar, and I obey his command. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to get used to it. I realise that he's been this bossy since I met him. You mentioned paperwork? Yes. What paperwork?